Last week, you mean 2 weeks ago? Is it?
No, that was last week.
We didn't record last week.
Yeah, we did. We did a recording
You're
where it was
sure
just you
about
and me.
that?
Yeah. Last Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
That's right.
we're
Because we
basically
we
doing the
started
same
it
thing
late.
again.
Yeah, we just started it late. That's right.
Yeah. This time we're starting it semi early.
Semi early, yeah.
To some degree, yeah.
A mild earliness, you could say.
No, but I guess Lamp had stuff to do. He didn't specify what, but he
Doesn't
said, I'll let you guys know if I can join. It's like, we'll see.
he always?
Yeah. At least he didn't bitch and whine that he couldn't because he was hungover.
You mean like last night?
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, you couldn't do last night either, so it's not like it was.
Yeah, well, last night I went to bed.
Yeah. He was like, I'm drunk right now. Well, bitch, so am I.
Well, no, because he's canceled on us before, bitching and whining that he's hungover. And it's like, bitch, I worked in 113
Yeah,
degrees
I know.
hungover. You can sit in front of a mic and talk. Like, it's not hard to function with a hangover. It just sucks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's young enough, he shouldn't have hangovers that bad. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you he hasn't drank more than I have the past couple weekends.
I guarantee
And
he
I've been
doesn't drink more
fucking.
than either of us ever.
Yeah, that's true.
But oh well.
Indeed. We got any topics for today?
Uh, got a couple of stupid questions we could play
I'm,
around with.
I mean, Taiwan is kind of like a fucking nothing burger, but
This interest.
like nothing.
I,
I mean,
is there anything actually going on in Taiwan?
China's threatening war,
Aren't they
and they're
always
trying.
threatening
They
war?
really like they. Yeah, they are. Which it's the boy that cried wolf with war. It's like
Yeah. It's
we
them in
going
North
to kill
Korea.
you, and it's like no, you're not. Well, North Korea really can't do anything. Like
Yeah. They're just they're what their leader
they're
was,
just
an
kind of
angry
there.
fat
They're
king.
yeah, they're just kind of there for the ride.
Yeah.
Like even if they had any kind of nuclear capabilities, like number one, it would be intercepted, and number two, they have no fucking strength in their army.
Yeah.
Like all their people are emaciated as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like children sized, and they also weigh like 2 pounds.
Yeah. That's funny. I hear most of their soldiers are like brainwashed into thinking American soldiers are weak, and then they actually see the comparison. They're like, "Oh fuck."
So yeah, not like most of their soldiers. It's like they're like the ones that do the parade and stuff, and the ones that
Yeah.
are like part of the like the emperor, whatever the fuck they call it, their dear leader's guard. Like those guys get fed,
Yeah. Gotta
so
keep.
they
Gotta
look
keep.
good.
Gotta keep the important ones looking decent at least. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean they're all small, but they're fed at least. Like, cause they're I mean they are Asian. They're pretty small. But she said, looking for a hookup. No thanks, bitch. But yeah, generally speaking, like unless they're Emperor's Guard, Border Guard, or something important, they're not looking. Too hot.
Yeah.
And boom.
No, I had something more along the lines of like, what's the dumbest superpower you could think of?
The dumbest superpower?
Yeah.
Russia.
No.
It would have to be. So I think it would have to be something either incredibly mundane, or we have to just have a really like it's the drawbacks of the power would have to be. I'd say they have to supersede whatever you can do with the power itself, right?
Yeah.
Or like it would have to be circumstantial. Like you can shrink, but only if you're shrinking near a door so that you can fit through like a keyhole.
Or like you can fly for a limited amount of time, but only if you fart so hard you almost shit your pants.
Or like you have to shit your pants to fly.
Or that, yeah.
But you can, but like your distance is really short, like
Your distance is
500
dependent on
feet.
how big the shit is.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that works. Um,
And you can't control when it happens either.
you have super strength, but only if you get hit in the balls. You can, okay, so you can start fires with your hands, but you can only use the power when it's hot.
Yeah, that just defeats the purpose.
Exactly. I mean, unless you're grilling, I guess it'd be like a good
Or
summertime thing,
like
like in your backyard and punch.
somebody else has done this. I forget where I heard about it, but the Human Torch, but he can feel himself on fire. So he
See,
catches
like,
fire
yeah,
and just
so
like
like
ah. Somebody's done that bit. I just don't know where it's from, off the top of my head.
it sounds familiar because there's a guy on TikTok that does a lot of those,
Yeah,
where he's like, you can pick any power, but someone else gets. I think it's a Reddit thing, but someone else gets to pick
I
your
feel like it's.
weakness or your
I almost feel
drawback.
like it's a Robot Chicken bit.
It could be because a lot of that shit, like people, because not a lot of people remember Robot Chicken anymore, so like
Yeah,
someone can just fucking copy that and pretend it's theirs.
probably.
You have the power to breathe in outer space, but only if you drink water first.
That'd be
Like you have to be
interesting.
actively drinking water.
I'm not even sure how useful that would be. You'd have to take your
What's the
helmet
point
off in
of?
space. I know. I guess you could be in the space station and take a drink and then go out there. But then, just
Yeah,
because
or
you
like
could
you could
breathe
like
in space, does that
you
mean your
could have
body
a
could with?
suit.
Yeah,
Like you could have a suit that has like a camelback on it. You can suck water to the camelback.
yeah. But then, would your body be able to handle the pressure while breathing in space?
Well, I mean, it would have to be able to, right? Because you're breathing in space.
I guess, yeah.
But see, wouldn't breathing in space be like a side effect of having super strength? Because it's really just your body being able to maintain oxygen inside itself, which means it's just having to be stronger than the vacuum of
I
space.
yeah. I thought that's why Superman could breathe in space. Was just because he was able to hold his breath long enough.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's
I
the
never
actual
really read
reason,
into that
but
far.
I just
I
always kind of
mean,
assumed. Well, cause it's like his ability for flight is supposed to be like an extension of his ability to punch so damn hard he can launch himself into the air.
yeah,
It's not that he actually has the ability to fly, he could just launch himself because of his strength. It's the same with the speed. He's super fast just because he's got the strength.
yeah. Here, I'm gonna have to come back really quick because we got barracks cleanup that I guess I have to participate in.
Ah, always fun.
Yeah. So I'm basically just gonna go sweep the hall and the lobby, and then I'm gonna come back, which that shouldn't take that long.
All right.
don't want to fucking cut my artery, and I'd prefer them also not cut my artery, as I like my arteries being where they. What the fuck is this?
That's mine.
Why the fuck did you leave it on my floor like that?
It's dirty. That's real dirty clothes.
No, they go in the dirty clothes bin.
I don't see no bin.
You can use that as your dirty clothes bin. Or use the fucking dirty clothes bin that's in my fucking closet. That's like right here. It's collapsible. Put your shirt in there. And I can wash it, because I have more clothes I gotta wash. But yeah, because I gotta, work week starts tomorrow.
The joys of military life.
Fantastic. It's the joys of any life, really. You just gotta.
Yeah.
Well, it's the joys of a normal 8-hour quote unquote work week.
Sucks dick.
Yes. Large penises.
Work didn't start.
Well, see, I'm a morning person, so like work can start like 8:30, and it's like I'll have a whole bunch of time prior to 8:30 that I'll be doing shit like.
At least you guys get weekends and holidays.
Yeah, Spaniards are fucking lazy. That's why. But yeah, no, we definitely, actually, we get a lot more holidays than regular people.
Yeah.
Than you regular peons who are not serving in the Lord's army.
Crusaders.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you can lose that shit pretty easy if you're retarded, but
Yeah.
that's with the caveat: if you're retarded, that's why you never go full retard.
You can't come back from full retard.
Never go full.
See, Sean Penn, he went full retard, and he never got his Grammy or his Emmy,
One of
whatever
those.
the fuck award it is. It's one of those things. It might have been the Oscar. I don't know. I don't pay attention to award shows. All I know is that every time someone goes full retard, it doesn't go well.
Yeah. I imagine
Well,
that
you never
bites you in
go
the
full
ass pretty
retard.
quick.
Someone in the Schmitz.
What?
I know.
Yes, about the, what is it? Pig, something pig, mud pig.
Oh, came out 5 hours.
Something.
You'll love it. You'll love it so much.
I know it's a lever action. I know.
Very soft.
I follow Garantha.
God.
I followed Garantha for like 3 years. I get no.
Have you already watched it?
What?
Have you already watched it?
It's been out for 5 hours.
That long considering YouTube? I'm been doing show.
I mean, yes. That doesn't mean I can't. Yes. If you hit the bell icon, you can turn the notifications. That's how YouTube works. You gotta learn this shit, man. You gotta learn this shit. Anyway, I'm going to do, I guess, throw together some laundry.
Cool. Good old
But you're gonna be in my pocket. You're gonna be in my pocket, so we're gonna keep this going.
Cool.
Yeah, I gotta wash some things because they decided to get moldy again.
Yes, they decided to get moldy.
Yes. Well, see, there's this wonderful thing in Georgia called extreme humidity. So when
Yeah.
your room is like constantly fluctuating in temperature, what happens is everything in this fucking drawer for some reason decides it needs mold. So I'm gonna wash some
I
of the
feel like
moldy
that means it's not
things.
getting cleaned properly.
The room
Or the laundry.
or the clothes.
The clothes, yeah.
No, so like this whole room right now. I didn't notice this until the other day, but like the popcorn ceiling
Yeah.
has like specks of mold in it because there's a vent right next to it that pushes out a bunch
Ah.
of cold air, but when it gets humid, it creates a bunch of moisture inside the room.
and it spreads.
Yes.
Delightful.
Yes, this is not my fault.
I didn't say it was. I was just saying there might be something with the machine or something.
No, it's just the fucking
No, I know you're
room.
more of the neat freak of the group. Not much of one.
I try
but
to be.
certainly more than the
I
rest of
try to
us.
be. You say that as I pulled fucking dirty socks out from under my bed that have been there for like 2 weeks.
At least it's not like fucking Lamp where he says he cleans like every other day and his house is constantly a mess.
Well, number one, he lives with like 90 fucking people, and number two, he's never as busy as he says he is.
Yeah. At least in my case, I'm honest about it. I just slowly clean. But I've also got a lot to clean, so I just work on it a little bit at a time.
Yeah, like pretty much the only reason why I've been able to keep my room as clean as I have is because I have very little shit in it.
Yeah.
Like I'd be less enthusiastic about keeping track of it if I had more shit myself. So that's kind of how life is right now.
Speaking of cleaning, I'll have to clean my car later.
Did I lose you? Oh, there we go.
Because I'm gonna take it into a shop tomorrow.
For that.
I'm gonna see if A Plus can't fix that hose. See if they can't do something with it. But it costs like $140 for them to even look at it, and I guess because of the license they have to look at it first.
Yeah.
Because if
I'm guessing they're gonna surcharge because you have to be authorized to work on Volkswagens.
probably, yeah. I don't know. I know they work on European vehicles.
Yeah, you usually have to be authorized to do that, which is stupid.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just mostly concerned about whether or not because they're a smog shop too. So I'm just concerned about whether or not their license will allow them to do anything like that, because it's gonna have to be a custom job.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hopefully
Or they'll try and convince you to spend money on the stupidly expensive part that you could build for like $20.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how they always try to go about that shit.
Yeah, no, if the worst case scenario, they'll say we can't do anything, we have to completely replace the turbo. I'll be like, yeah, no, fuck
Yeah, but then
that. That's like $1,300 to $1,600 for the turbo alone, another like $400 for the oiler line that we spent so long working on, and then another like what, $300 to $500 bill for the labor. Fuck that! I could go either buy another car or buy a fucking motorcycle.
You should buy another car. Actually, no, you should buy a motorcycle.
I want to. It's just a matter of
and
saving
then
up
just use
for
the
it.
Volkswagen sparingly.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the plan, but I still have to legally be able to use the car.
Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is, like, in the meantime.
Oh yeah, no, after the car's squared away, at least enough to where I can use it, then I'm gonna go try and get the motorcycle, get the license, and I'm just gonna use that. And
are you gonna sell your Virago or whatever the fuck it is? Or has your cousin even let you have that?
I may try and fix that up. I haven't even talked to him about it. I haven't even heard from him, so I'm just gonna take it. It's been sitting here long enough. Fuck it. It'll have to be re-registered either way, and well, if I take it, it's gonna have to be re-registered, and he was just gonna use it for fucking scrap, so wouldn't take that much time to fix it. It'd actually probably be cheaper just to fix that and re-register it. Just needs a new It just needs a new transmission and
it probably doesn't even need an actual transmission. It probably just needs a couple of gears.
Probably, but it's better to buy that as the whole thing. Plus, I hear that it uses the same transmission as the Shadow, so I might be able to swap it out for a Shadow transmission, and I won't have to hunt down a V30 Magna transmission.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the engine just
because
needs
that would
general
be
cleanup.
a fucking pain.
Oh yeah, it'd be a pain in the ass.
Because I remember that with my old dirt bike. That thing was a huge pain in the ass to find parts for.
It's weird. It's like
And on
it's
top
like
of that,
nobody
even if you
works on
could,
bikes.
yeah, not anymore. There used to be dirt tracks, but they're gone.
I don't know what it is.
They saw
I guess
they
it's,
saw the writing on the walls years ago and left California as soon as they could.
yeah.
I think they're in Nevada now, which sucks because now Nevada's turning into a facsimile of California.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
But
What if that means Vegas will
um,
turn into like LA?
it already is really, but with
Yeah.
prostitution.
Yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't potentially have it looked at by an official Honda dealer because there's a couple in Fresno kicking around that could probably help you. But at the same time, you really want to spend all that time and money
Yeah, and then it's a
trying to
matter
get them to look at it when you could,
of
you
getting
know,
it out there too.
yeah, precisely.
Nah,
And then you got the trucks to
I'm
you all
pretty
the
sure
junk.
the
So
only real issue it has is just that it needs that transmission fixed. Because it seems the gear selector is completely fucking jammed. And it's slightly bent too. The actual
hmm.
pedal for it is bent. But I think
It could be that it could be the spline shaft that's on got damaged in like a fall.
yeah.
Like if you maybe tilted it over and just like landed on it, if you
Yeah.
hit it good enough, it could have damaged that spline. So it might even just be that one part. You just have to take it apart and look.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds like it actually. I mean, it would be a worthwhile investment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's something I'm gonna do. I just want to get the car squared away a bit first. Again, just so that I can use it and not have any issues.
Yeah. And again, I'd say also look into part time at 70 or Sinclair,
Yeah, I already went and got
because my grandma said they're
the application for it,
oh
but eh,
perfect.
I filled it out, but I don't know. I take it that old white guy is the guy in charge of the place.
Talk about Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in charge, but he's kind of been hands off recently.
Uh, no, I'm not 100% sure about it anymore because that guy seems kind of. With the feeling I wouldn't get along with him very well. On the other hand, I also met Gus,
You kind of just have.
and
Yeah, Gus is cool,
I
but
mean she,
with Mo, you kind of just have to take Mo for being Mo.
yeah,
Like he thinks he knows everything, and he's kind of a turd sometimes. But it's like you just kind of have to ignore that
yeah,
because you wouldn't be dealing with him all that much anymore because he, like I said, he's trying to be hands off. He's getting close to trying to retire. So
I see. Yeah, because I know
yeah,
your
he's gonna
grandma.
sell that franchise eventually.
Yeah, your grandma introduced me to Gus, and I guess she said he was like overwhelmed with work.
Yeah,
So I guess she sounded pretty eager about if I get hired on for a bit to go and help him, which would be some more experience with mechanic stuff, which I wouldn't mind.
yeah, and if it's part time, that would help you out too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus a little bit of extra money, I could afford to actually go have a gym membership again and actually use it properly this
yeah,
time. The one near the library actually is considerably cheaper than
the one near the library.
Accelerate. Yeah, there's a I forget what it's called.
Oh
off the
yeah,
top of
yeah,
my head.
yeah. Okay, I know which one you're talking. I
Yeah, the
know which
one
one
right
you're talking
across the
about.
street from the Dollar General.
Yeah,
It's like $30 a month. It's like $100 to sign up, but that's to sign up and pay for the first month and everything. And I guess they give you like a password or something to get in.
yeah,
But it seems like an okay place to go.
yeah. I've heard some good things about it. I know there were some like little complaints that people had, but I just don't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah. No, people are always going to complain about something. I just appreciate the fact that it's a little cheaper than Accelerate was. They were like fucking 40. Actually, no, I was paying 50 a month because I didn't pay through a card. I paid in cash.
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently there was like a.
Mine was $25 a month,
Yeah, it was.
and that was because I caught them on a promo.
Yeah, it was 45 a month plus the $5 fee for, or no, it was 40 a month and a $10 fee for paying in cash.
Fascinating.
So
I never knew that.
but yeah, that I can actually have access to a little more weight. What I've got around here is starting to get a bit too light. Just a bit. Of course, going that route, I may actually finally turn into a full-blown gym rat. Wouldn't be a bad thing, though.
I mean, hey, no, it's not a bad thing.
Plus, I look good enough. I can go on Instagram and make some money that way.
Or OnlyFans.
I guess.
Hey, money's money, man.
Yeah, fuck it. Might as well go both ways. Show them what they want, but they can't have it.
Well, see, like with OnlyFans, what you can do though is like you just, tease shit. Like you don't have to show it. Like
Oh yeah, you don't have to show a thing. You
showy.
could literally just like have a. You could literally just sit there and talk. And if you look nice, people will sit there and
or
wait for
or
you
do
to
what
do
Donut
something.
does, and like come up with really like dirty names for videos and just be like throwing shit.
I forgot that they did that. No, that'd be perfect. Just have like really really like dirty names, and all you do is sit there and talk. Don't
Yeah,
do
or
anything at all.
like just random videos. Like
Or just random
they
videos.
have super dirty names, but then it's just like
Dirty names
one
repost
day
to
you're
YouTube
cooking,
videos.
or one day you're just like one day you're like mowing the lawn or something.
Yeah,
It's like random ass shit.
that'd be fucking hilarious. And I guess my body's already gotten used to eating better now. Kind of screwed myself over yesterday. I broke my diet a little bit and had some chips. I don't think my body liked that very much.
Yeah, that's always a
I
bad way to go. I remember a couple years ago when I was like dieting early, when my diet was really good. I
yeah.
went and had like Mexican food from a taco truck, and I was like shitting my brains out.
Yeah, no, I ended up deciding like, I've been sticking to the diet. I'll have a little bit of a treat just to change it up and keep some variety in. So I went down and got fucking burrito and some chips. The burrito was fine,
What
but
is it?
something about the chips fucking
It's the
screwed up with my
Oh,
stomach. Like, I woke up this morning at like 5 a.m. shitting my guts out, and nothing in it but water and bits of chip. I was like, okay,
Yeah, it was
we're not
probably
eating that again.
this all the sodium.
Probably.
I've noticed that a lot. Like a lot of head. Like if you eat really well for a long time and you like have something that's like even a little bit too salty, like you'll get headaches and fucking nasty stomach problems.
Yeah, no, like, I almost could swear I had fucking food poisoning, but I know I didn't. I mean, everything I ate was fine,
Yeah,
but it certainly felt like it.
yeah. Usually
Fuck.
have to be careful with that. This will just fucking wreck you. I remember like the first time I had like fast food after basic, I was like shitting my fucking brains out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Which
really
sucks.
great.
I do actually really like the Limon chips, the Lay's chips.
Yeah,
I could probably make better, though.
yeah,
If I had to work
yeah.
my
Because
oven.
I mean,
But
like, yeah, you should probably fix that.
probably.
Or I mean, you could get a toaster oven.
Yeah, I could do that.
You
I
get
got,
the same thing in toaster ovens.
Probably
and
cheaper
just
than
buy
getting a full
tortillas
oven.
and cut them up.
Probably cheaper than getting a full oven, anyways.
It's just the only problem with toaster ovens, they're not as powerful.
Yeah. No, the recipe I saw was like take some like shredded cheese and just like bunch
Yeah.
it up in like chip form, and then just bake them, and that makes sort of like a healthier version of a chip.
I mean, kind of. It's still cheese, like
Yeah.
just straight up cheese. Cheese got a lot of sodium and shit, and not as egregious as like a bag of chips. But I mean, it's still a lot. Speaking of, I think I'm gonna go with a bag of chips. Oh, I lost my pocket. Perfect.
Which sucks because like I went to bed like so strictly last night because it's like I'm gonna get up at 5, or I'm gonna get up at 4, and I'm going to actually try to go on a run. And then I woke up at 5 and felt like absolute shit. It's like, okay, well, at least we got up early today. At least we'll accept that. It's better than usual.
And that's all you need to keep improving, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to at least get used to getting up earlier. I don't know what it is. I'm at the point where I just never hear my alarms go off. I don't know if it's too quiet or what. I just never hear them go off.
Yeah, I get the point. And I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing, but like where I won't hear them, I'll just wake up.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times recently, I just wake up before my alarm goes off. Like I just kind of predict it.
I'm usually
And it's
opposite.
not like
I'm
it's like
usually
10
just
or
like
something. It's
I
like
usually just like wake up and like I better check to see what time it is. And then I'll see, oh fuck, it's an hour after my alarm was supposed to go off.
yeah. Usually for me, it's like I'll be like, oh, I woke up. What time is it? And I'll check, and it's like 2 minutes before my alarm goes off.
No, yesterday was, or the night before last was bullshit actually because I had to be at the ranch by 5 because they
Yeah.
hauled off some of the goats. They didn't get rid of all of them, but they got rid of They got rid of all the ones that aren't pets. And I guess for the auction,
That means
they do the goats early.
I think that's one per soldier in NCO quarter. I think so. Maybe clarify with your team leader probably, because I'm not really sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Man.
But what happened was like, okay, I'll go to bed early, so that way I can get down there at 5. Set 4 fucking alarms. One for 3, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and 5. Didn't hear a single one. I slept like absolute shit. I didn't actually fully rest. Like, it felt like I power napped all night. And the only thing I remember waking up at like 4:25, getting like the glimpse of a nightmare or something as I woke up. It's like, that's a weird way to wake up. And then I went down to the ranch, and I'm surprised she didn't call me at 5 and be like, where are you? Are you on your way? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I got there, he was like, he'd like just gotten there too. Like right before me. So I wasn't even that late.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, no, for like, I find that usually the weekends for me, I usually sleep through my alarms, but on weekdays, like I just pop up. I don't know, it's weird. It's like a change in tempo in my brain.
Yeah. No, for me, this is pretty consistent. You just wake up whenever my body says, hey, get your ass up.
Yeah, and I mean it's all about what you're used to as well. Like if you're used to just like sleeping late, you're gonna sleep
Yeah.
late.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it also depends on your physiology too. I'm one of those people where it's like the morning is just generally good for me.
well, yeah, like that's the thing for me. Like I always feel like I have more energy at night. I don't know why, but I always
Yeah.
feel like I have a lot more energy at night.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I have like no fucking energy at night, but if you put me if it's in the morning, I'm like fucking wired. Like I don't need caffeine or anything. I'm just fucking wired.
Yeah, I've noticed specifically for me, it's like around like 8 or 9 where I start getting like almost hyper. It's like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
awake now. Fuck, I'm supposed to be going to sleep in a bit. Been tired
Yeah.
all fucking day, and now when I actually want to go to bed, I'm fucking awake.
Whereas like I'm that way, usually around like 4:35, and I start to just like lose any and all energy I have around like 4 in the afternoon, 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it works well for like PT in the morning, right? Like I have a lot of energy, but then afternoon comes around, I just feel like dog shit.
Yeah.
I think that's actually the important part where I'm like supposed to be working.
Yeah, thankfully last night I went to bed pretty easily. I think that was because I spent the majority of yesterday after the ranch just doing workouts.
Yeah.
Because like as soon as I got back,
Yeah,
I
and
ended up
that'll help your circadian rhythm too. Like,
yeah, yeah, because I basically got the cardio of chasing the goats, and then
fucking
as soon as I got back, I had the fucking weightlifting, and then took a like an hour or two break, and did another like did like a small calisthenics workout, and then ended off the day with like another like small weightlifting workout.
yeah. And like I said, that also helps like so your eating schedule and your workout schedule helps set the way you sleep and wait or like when you go to sleep and when you wake up too.
Yeah,
Like I think the suggested time frame is like your last meal should be 12 hours before you intend to wake up.
hmm. Yeah, no, I still need to work on actually having a time frame of eating. Yesterday, all I really did was have that burrito and the chips, and then had like 2 protein shakes, 2 or 3.
Yeah, which is where like so there's two things about like caloric deficit, right? Is that if you're doing it to a more extreme level, it definitely fucks up your sleep because you don't have that set schedule of meals to
Yeah,
sleep. Like it's a meal to sleep ratio. There's that. But number two, like if caloric deficit doesn't help you lose weight as much as people think it does. It's eating in combination, like eating the right things in combination with working out the right way
yeah.
is what helps you really lose weight.
On the plus side, though, I'll probably be able
And
to
like,
start the bulking process soon.
and like if you're someone who doesn't eat a lot, then you need to schedule your meals the right size to fit how much you eat in a day,
Yeah,
so that you can have 3 or 4 or fucking 6 decently sized quote unquote meals for your physiology.
yeah. I should see if I can't drag Lamp to the gym too, when I can finally afford that.
Yeah, you should, because that would probably help him with being a little
It
bitch.
probably help him with a lot of things. Yeah,
He definitely needs something besides just fucking spending all his time working and being a house mom.
yeah. Also, I mean, you'd imagine that would just get boring after a while.
I mean, yeah, yeah, it would. What the fuck is going on in this group chat? Anyway, yeah, no, it absolutely would. Like, you need something else to look forward to,
Yeah,
especially if you're someone like him who has a lot of anxiety and anger and depression. Like, you can throw all that shit into working out, and you'll feel better.
yeah.
Put all your sadness into your muscles.
I'll just start adding him with clips from Gym Talk and just let him have fun with those for a bit and get him into it.
Just start downloading. Just start downloading a fuck ton of Gym Talk videos and just send them to the
I've
group
been
chat. and
loving
spam
those
the shit
lately.
into 'em.
Those have been awesome lately. I don't know why, but I've been like
The
a
TikToks?
yeah, specifically gym TikTok. Like I haven't been watching them on TikTok. I've been watching them on YouTube because people post like compilations.
You ever watch Papa Swolio and like Robert Frank?
Doesn't sound familiar off the top of my head.
Robert Frank is the one that does like the if you want this chick, or like what was it? The one that he did the other day. I think it was like if you want a chick with double D breasts, something or other, you gotta work your biceps or something like that. But he does those kinds of videos. I can't remember what the fuck he said. And then Papa Swolio is the dude that does like the it'll start with like a simp video of a chick, and then like halfway through it'll cut out to him and he's staring at you and he just whispers, "Go to the gym."
No, I've been
I'll find a couple for
watching
you.
I've been watching one similar to that last one though, but it's just two guys in their car and it cuts to them and they just start screaming, "We go gym. We go gym now." It's like, yes. I don't know, I've been liking more and more of like the red pill content on YouTube. It's just fun to
Yeah,
watch.
I mean I've been noticing that.
It's just fun to watch.
But yeah, I get a lot of that. I get a lot of the red pill stuff in my TikTok. It's kind of funny. The only problem though is that a lot of the shit, it's like, it's not that I disagree with it. It's just that it's usually in a really conspiratorial or like only pro-Trump kind of way, and it's like, I don't really agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not a lie, and it's not wrong. It's just not really in a format that I agree with per se. But it's usually pretty funny.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of content related to Ziz. And been watching like the whole sort of like, I guess, cult that sprung up around him. That's basically what he went and did.
hmm
It's funny though. It's all people. It's just a bunch of people doing the same thing. It's like, don't get distracted. Focus on yourself. Focus on their workouts. Don't look over there. Look at what you're doing. It's like, good advice to follow.
Yeah, I do enjoy a lot of the quote unquote Sigma male grind set ones though. Those are
Yeah.
pretty funny.
I like that that stuff seems to be getting more and more popular too. I guess more and more people are kind of like gravitating towards it, which makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's because we've had a really poor culture with like overweightedness and a lack of balance in a lot of the way that we treat people in society,
Yeah.
and it's going the other way, so which of course is a bad thing if you're fucking at CNN.
Yeah. Thankfully though, those are the same dumbasses who sit there and go like, it's just a bunch of kids on YouTube. They're not gonna hurt anybody. It's just YouTube. Even though there's plenty of people on YouTube that make more than they ever will.
Yeah.
Actually, have you seen the video that Mark did with Anthony Padilla?
No, I have not watched it.
I'll have to share it in Discord later, but apparently he gets like almost I guess he gets like almost $1 a view, and he's had like 17 billion views on his channel. And he's just like he's just absolutely baffled at how much money he has, and he apparently he gives pretty much all of it away to fucking charity.
Yeah.
Just because he doesn't know what to do
Okay,
with it.
I've seen the clip of that.
But that's crazy. Like, I honestly agree with his mentality. I was like, what the fuck would you do with that much money? Like, yeah, you need money to get by in society nowadays, but you don't need that much. Like, after a certain point, you start having too much, and it just sits around. It's like, what do you do with this shit?
Yeah, and well, I mean, it's not really a new predicament, right? Because you have people that have been always ultra wealthy. And that's one thing where the church used to actually be pretty good about, is because they used to be like the orphanage and the hospital. Like it's part of where in modern society we had an issue with adapting certain concepts of social care structures,
Yeah.
is because it used to be ran by the church, but we don't do that anymore. So who controls that? Well, the intent with like the United States particularly is that it's supposed to be the free market, and a lot of other countries do that fairly well, whereas we're not doing it fairly well because when anything ever gets proposed in regards to healthcare or the foster care system or education or whatever have you, where it would be a tax funded program, you have two things. You have one, corruption that prevents it from being effective, and number two, you have this push to call it socialism for the sake of calling it socialism.
Yeah.
So what that does is basically it disengenders a fuck ton of people who despise socialism on, if you want to call it, the conservative side, which is really bullshit, but then people just can't see past that. Even though it's very unfair to say that just because something is a tax funded social work makes it quote unquote socialist.
Yeah.
It just makes it part of a functioning free state. Because the whole point of the United States is to make sure that people can maintain a certain level of freedom and prosperity.
Yeah, exactly.
If people are excluded from the market, or if people are excluded from being able to afford to take care of themselves, then they are not a free and well taken care of people.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, you have that dichotomy of people who want to implement socialism on a very large scale, who will then claim that these things are socialist, and then you get resistance to it, which there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But because you have those implementers of socialism, you can't. What the fuck are you doing with that?
What happened?
I think he just put part of the splint for my wrist brace in his fucking pants. I'm not really certain. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, you just get resistance to it because nobody wants to, because people are literally thinking that if it's a tax-funded social work, like they've been brainwashed into thinking that if you have something that's tax-funded and it's a social project that's being implemented, not run by, but just implemented by the government, that automatically makes it socialist, and therefore they resist it.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of politicians all trying to outplay each other, and in the end, everybody loses.
It's basically a lot of horseshit.
Yeah.
And it's not just politicians either. It's people who
people
don't
in general.
understand it's people who don't understand how a republic form of government runs, which obviously they don't know because they think that a republic is a form of democracy, which is absolutely bullshit. But on top of that, then you do have those politicians that want to implement socialism or some form of socialism, which there's a whole long line of shit that I could get into on that part, because when you talk about what the actual definition of fascism is and how socialism and capitalism work together in a fascist system, you would then start to realize that we have been a fascist country for a very long time. Not
Yeah.
like the racially fascist country, but like a economically fascist country, which is not a good thing because one can very easily lead to the other with the right person in charge. I mean, we've seen.
Yeah.
Not here, as much as the media likes to claim that we have. I think we've seen in other countries though.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all over the world in some places.
Yeah, especially when you start to get into like really mixed systems, like in more tribal, not tribal, but more close to tribal areas in Africa and in the East Indies. You start to see it
Yeah.
really heavily. So it's just one of those really um, touchy subjects that we could get over fairly easily if people just pulled their heads out of their asses. But because of the fact that our public education system was founded on the principle of creating mindless worker drones, that I don't foresee that happening for some time. But
Oh
I
yeah.
think it could happen.
Yeah.
But I'm also an unabashed optimistic pessimist or pessimistic optimist.
Yeah. No, it'll probably happen. It'll just take probably several fucking years, if not decades.
I don't know about decades, but it'll definitely take time. And I wouldn't say that it would be that easily reversible either, right? But I don't think it's as hard as people think.
Yeah.
There's complexities to it, but all it takes is a little bit of rationality and some other certain people taking a step back.
Yeah.
But the problem is that those people don't want to take a step back. They're there to manipulate and to abuse
I thought this was
their
just two
station.
guys.
Like they do that like they're there intentionally for that purpose.
Yeah.
So it comes down to really kind of a Article 5 thing, where there has to be a convention of states and multiple changes. But we're seeing it happen with like gun laws specifically. The Supreme Court has basically ruled that every state and every federal instituted gun law has to be re-reviewed against the original definitions used in the Constitution,
Yeah.
which basically leaves a very large amount of leeway for good interpretations. So if we saw something like that, you would definitely see a pretty radical change quite quickly.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think a lot of people are, especially people our age, I think we're starting to slowly kind of realize we need to learn more about what's going on, and we're slowly but surely doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And there's some I'd say there's some uh, misinterpretation with that because you do definitely still have a very large majority of people in our age group that would rather just be oblivious.
Yeah. They don't want the
But
responsibility.
no, there is definitely a certain growth in awareness, and not even like a right left awareness, but just a general
Yeah.
citizenry awareness,
So like, holy shit,
which is
I
a
should
good thing.
actually pay attention to this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, holy shit, that dude that has an R by his name is retarded. Holy shit, that dude that has a D by his name is retarded. Like, what? Like, both these
Yeah.
people are retarded. Like, what? Why do I give a shit about what either of them say?
Why are we choosing between one dumbass or the other dumbass?
Both of them are probably in their fucking 80s and are about to die any day. Like, why are they having any say in what the fuck we're doing here?
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna just be living with their fucked up legislations for the next however many years until either it gets overturned or whatever, or we die. Like if we get to that age, right? Did you get those videos?
Yeah, I just haven't looked at them just yet. It'll come through the The recording.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I
Gotcha.
I will say, however, I guarantee Lamp is gonna look at that first one and be disappointed by what it actually is.
Yeah.
He's gonna see that and be like, ooh, oh.
Yeah, I do have my little nickels with that whole like the Sigma male grand set thing. Like I think it's funny, but at the same time, it's like yes, you should work on yourself. Yes, you should be. You should attain or you should reach to attain this upright morality, but at the same time, like you're. I don't want to misrepresent what um the whole point behind it is, but like the idea of like hey let like the like it's just a response to like hookup culture, right?
Yeah.
It's really what it is, but at the same time, it's like don't ignore females because of hookup culture. Like that's what it seems like sometimes is being said. Like
Yeah, more on the like
the
extreme
this
side of things.
yeah. Like I said, they're funny. I enjoy them. I just don't really completely agree with them.
Yeah. Well, even I only agree with like the overall basis, which is like put that stuff out of your mind and work on yourself, and that stuff will, in a way,
Yeah.
come to you because you've worked for it, you've earned it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is then that's one of the big things I think is a large factor in why the whole Sigma male thing has been appealing to people recently is because it's like in Stoicism, they say that a man is truly unhappy until he's been given a chance to prove himself
Yeah.
to to show not only to others but most importantly to himself that he can defeat challenges, be that he can be put into a tough situation, he can make his way out on his own by his own wits or by his own strength. I think that's why it's mostly appealing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes some sense when you think about it, because, like, think about the last. Like, think about. I don't know if it's necessarily the last generation, but, like. I don't know, was it the last generation or the one before it that was World War II? I forget which is.
So we have Gen Z, Millennial, Generation X, Baby Boomers, and then Greatest Generation.
And which one of those was World War
Which
II?
Greatest Generation is World War II.
Okay. Yeah, so, like, those guys, like, all those fucking guys had houses and families at our age. But that's because they already went through like this big trial sort of thing. They had this big challenge to overcome. We don't have that anymore.
So not exactly. A lot of that has to do with the fact that back then,
And back then the economy was different
you,
as well, but
yeah, like I don't think people really realize exactly how badly inflation has been over the last 40, 50 years.
oh yeah, that definitely plays a factor. But like
Because what you're making minimum wage is not anywhere near the uh, it doesn't have anywhere near the monetary power that minimum wage had back in the day, even though it's more money.
yeah. Well, that's because minimum wage goes up, everything else has to go up too, which nobody seems to understand. But I mean,
There's
like,
that as well as multiple other factors of inflation, like overproducing money, um, underproducing GDP, and other areas of the market outsourcing labor as well as goods and materials, services.
yeah,
Like all that is a factor.
yeah. But I mean, like, in terms of like personal success and like sort of like self growth, like a lot of those men at that time had their shit together because they had already like essentially succeeded.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, you're right to some degree because the baby boomers even have that same thing. If baby boomers go into Vietnam, Gen X goes, well, okay, so that's kind of misleading as well. it's more that they had a base of morality and a sense of hard work and accomplishment.
Yeah, that's more along the lines of what I was trying to say.
But those things definitely do apply, right? Like the whole warring aspect does apply because, like you said, they're the greatest generation has World War II, baby boomers have Vietnam, Gen
And-
X has Desert Storm, millennials have, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Yeah, but then we've
We
got what, COVID?
we've had
That's not really much of a
we've had
challenge.
we've had Syria, we've had
Syria.
Syria, but that wasn't a huge thing for Gen Z, particularly because so we're called Zennials. Basically, anyone born from 96 to 2000 is considered a Zennial.
Sort of like
it's
the
a-
in
it's a-
between.
Yeah, because culturally speaking, people born in that time period are slightly different generationally.
Yeah.
They're not quite millennials because they didn't quite grow up in the same early 90s time frame.
But they're not quite Gen Z
But at the
because
same time, they're not
techy.
quite Gen Z because we weren't born with we weren't born with having we didn't grow up with
Yeah.
cell phones and things like that. Like we were already, almost teenagers by the time we really had access to that shit.
Yeah. And I mean, there's something to be
Oh.
said about the fact that like Gen Z is just starting off still in a way. Like everyone from
Yeah.
Gen Z is still under the age of 30, so we haven't really had a chance to achieve anything yet. Necessarily.
There's that. There's a lot that goes with that. But yeah, you are right on that part. There hasn't been a cultural achievement for our generation
Not yet, at least.
because we don't have civil rights. We don't have women's suffrage. We have a generation that's basically fucking aborted the most children ever.
Yeah.
Considering that men can be women, like really just absolutely dumb shit.
Yeah, a bunch of delusions.
And of course, many people would probably disagree with me on that point, and I really don't give a fuck. But you can disagree about those things all you want. They are morally destitute, regardless.
Yeah. They're also just factually wrong.
Yes, they are factually wrong. But what is a fact? Well, how do you define a fact?
That's correct or
That whole
incorrect.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say that, but then they'll say, "But I define a fact."
They're the people that
That's my
believe.
truth.
They're the
It's
people
like,
that
no,
believe
like-
science is wrong. So it's like, well,
But
then you have nothing to
if you
base
make
anything
a
off of.
counter-argument on some, but if you make a counter argument on something that they agree with, then you're saying that you deny the science. You don't believe in science. But when it comes to actual stated scientific facts, what is a definition? Like, what the fuck? It's like you think you're making some profound moral quandary that I can't answer, but really all you're doing is coming up with a really stupid statement.
It's like talking to a
Which-
stoner,
Which I can. It's like talking to a child.
or like to a child. That's a lot more accurate, actually.
It's much more accurate because that's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's
People just
it's
need to grow
a
up.
it's a generational gap where people have grown up so fucking soft that they continue to persist in believing childhood delusions into adulthood, to where their childhood delusions create their opinions about the world around them.
Yeah.
It is psychologically fascinating because
It is
of what it
actually.
means for everybody who comes after us.
Well, and I don't think it'll have as big of an impact as we might think, because I mean that ties in with like the rise of the red pill content on social media.
Yeah.
Is just because that's people our age who are like, what the fuck are we doing? We need to snap out of this. And they're trying to spread that too. So it's like, It's like
Yeah, but
everybody
you
needs
all,
to
but
learn to
again,
wake up and grow up and start acting like an
the
adult and getting shit straight.
but the problem with the red pill content and the stigma grind set content
Is that it
has
goes too
been the
far in
fact that
places.
because it is a meme and it is a joke, it does create people with extreme ideologies based off of a joke because
Yeah,
they are young and they don't understand it as sarcasm, because that's one thing that people have very much forgotten is sarcasm.
yeah. There's that too.
People don't really like they don't properly understand comedy anymore. Even simple fucking things.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. You're proving my point right now. Anyway. So it creates people that believe in extreme ideologies based off of something that is a cultural meme. It has basis in reality. It has credence, in fact, but it's creating pockets of people that don't understand that because there has been an increased number of people with mental health conditions as a result of a lot of different events, and as well as like chemical abuse and substance abuse.
Yeah.
And it creates these extreme factions. And what that does, once you have an extreme faction that's red pilled, then you're going to have blue pilled content, and you're going to have another extreme pocket of people as a result. And you only got the red pill content and the extreme pockets of people that are quote unquote red pilled because of the fact that you had so many people that were on the left, or the blue pilled people, the previously blue pilled people that were fucking extreme.
Yeah.
So you have one extreme creates another extreme creates another extreme. That's the problem.
Well, then there's black pill content, which is like blue pill, but more of like, what are they calling them? They're calling them doomers. Sort of like,
Yeah.
well, fuck it, we've already lost, give up, kind of thing. Like
Yeah, and then you
chaotic.
have like white pill content, which is basically so like white pill content is probably what I'd say I agree with the most because it's more along the lines of like a libertarian outlook.
Fuck are
Yeah.
you talking?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Matrix shit going on.
No.
White, blue pill, red pill.
We're talking about the Matrix. Neo never knew there were two other options.
Well, Neo didn't realize that he could just swallow both pills and he was gonna fucking fly into the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Purple pills, motherfucker. See, that's the secret that the Wachowskis didn't want anyone to know. And also that one of them is a tranny.
Yeah.
It's funny that one of them is a tranny and they're still called the Wachowski brothers. Even though one of them is now a sister.
Yes.
Yeah, UPS is not open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Venmo me and I'll ship it. Just write down your address and I'll do all that shit for you. It'll have to be after paycheck though, so probably end of the week. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I prefer kind of the whole white pill content though. Like I said,
Yeah.
very libertarian.
What's wrong with black dudes?
Funny that you asked, because we were just talking about that about 5 minutes ago. Because the doomer mindset, the pessimistic millennial Gen Z socialist type.
Sort of like the give up and give in.
Yeah, the ones that think that they're gonna be able to fucking like live throughout like an end of the world kind of situation when in fact they would just fucking get their heads chopped off and their guts eaten. There you go, that's the black pill doomer mindset.
What?
You said you're just gonna kill yourself, right? The end of the world ever happens, you'll just kill yourself? That's it right there, that's the doomer mindset.
Yep. It's giving up.
Elon Musk isn't escaping Earth. He's going to go underground. He's going to become a mole person. He's going to take all of his children he's had with illegitimate women, and he's going to create a new world of mole people underground, and then one day in the future, as the broken up worldwide civilization is starting to get back on its feet, he's going to arise and take over the entire world for himself.
He got caught.
That's fair. But is it Call of Duty Mobile or is it Call of Duty Online? Warzone? Like is it Warzone? Is it?
It'd be more like Call of Duty Underground.
That'd be a cool map.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. What's that? What's that place in Turkey called? Like the underground city? Catalhoyuk, whatever the fuck it's called. It'd be like that'd be the map. Call of Duty Catalhoyuk. It's an underground city that's like dug into the rock. Not the Rock Johnson, but like physical rock.
That one.
And it's supposed to have been able to house like 200,000 people. Pretty impressive.
That does sound pretty cool.
Cappadocia is another one. It was like that. It's in western Turkey. It's like more towards Greece. It used to be Byzantinian. It actually features in Assassin's Creed. But yeah, that would be Elon Musk's Call of Duty map that he'd create for everybody.
They'd call the whole package
no,
Rise
no,
of the
no, no.
Musk.
Everybody would live underground, but it would be like Ready Player One, where instead of living in above ground, overpopulated and polluted cities, they'd live underground in spacious rock carved apartments. And that's how they'd get their exercise because they have like
there's a place here in America that does that, where they have like rock houses. They're like built into cliff faces.
What? Do you think I give a fuck about? I was born with bad luck. I got an upside down horseshoe in my ass, and is dumping all the luck straight out my butthole. Where's the wood in here? Where's the wood? This isn't real wood. This is a veneer. This is plastic. Drywall is made out of stone.
Do you at least have floorboards?
It's like particle board. Nope, I don't have floorboards. I actually do have rocker boards at the bottom. Not rocker boards, but kicker boards. Yeah. There we go. Those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're wood though. They could be particle board.
Yeah.
Which I guess is made as like a wood byproduct. But even still, I don't believe in bad luck because I am bad.
Yeah, good or bad luck, you still gotta get up off your ass and do shit.
I did like Bullet Train. I related to Bullet Train quite a lot.
I still have no idea what that movie's about. I haven't seen it, but I've seen like an ad or two for it. All I know is it's a train.
I'd say whenever it's kind of like it's kind of like a weird mix of like I'd say Ocean's 11, Train Spotting, and like John Wick. Maybe a little bit of Deadpool in there.
Ah. I certainly got Deadpool vibes off of it. Off of the ad I saw.
Yeah, I'd say whenever you can, check it out, because it's actually a pretty good movie. It's not like it's got any kind of depth to it, but it's just a good watch.
A little more interested in seeing what Netflix does next.
What?
I'm a little more interested in seeing what Netflix is gonna do next. Since their Resident Evil. Well, since the Resident Evil one, I haven't seen it, but I keep hearing left and right that the Resident Evil, whatever the fuck it was supposed to be, is just absolutely atrocious.
So gay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that could not get any worse. Oh.
We weren't referring to the Resident Evil, but I do agree that Resident Evil has not been great.
I haven't seen anything of it.
There's a lot of things
I just keep hearing left. I haven't heard a single good review about it anywhere. Like nobody's talking good about that. That's got to point to something, but no, I guess they're gonna do. I'm sure you don't care about this, but they're gonna do like a live action of One Piece.
I haven't watched One Piece in a long time, so I can't say I'm super invested.
I'm mildly interested because I guess they went all the way down to Africa to film it, and they're like building like huge, intricate sets and everything on the water. So there's
Yeah.
clearly a lot of production going into it. I'm just curious to see if it'll be any good.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. Like, I can't, like I said, I'm not like up to date on the story with One Piece.
Oh, neither
I
am
probably
I.
haven't watched One Piece in like a decade.
I only remember One Piece really
Actually,
from
it's been
when I was a
longer than
kid.
that.
That's all I
Same.
remember.
Like I say, it's probably been a decade, but in reality, it's probably been like since like 2007, 2006 maybe.
Yeah, about the same
Show's
for
been on
me.
for a long time. There's like 1,800 episodes or some bullshit.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a huge fucking series.
I have to ask my neighbor because he watches it.
Well, I could
Like he
probably
still watches it.
we could probably ask Lamp. He fucking I guarantee either him or his wife knows.
Yeah, that's fair, but he's not on here because he's a bitch.
Yeah,
He ain't got his light bulb screwed in all the way.
just sits there and flickers. Every once in a while it turns on, but most of the time it just sits there off.
I'd
You
say
could
that's
probably make
pretty
it. You could probably turn it into a strobe light
accurate.
if you sit there and shake it. Just shake the shit out of him, and he has like a good idea randomly as you shake him. And it's a swap
Could be a
between.
skit.
That'd be a great skit. He just like randomly has like good and bad ideas as you're shaking him.
Or it's just like, you remember that show, The Finder?
It doesn't sound familiar.
He was like, he was a Marine and he gets caught up in an IED and it gives him like this extra sensory ability to find shit and like to like he can sense things and find things that the other people can't.
Yeah.
Have it like that kind of a concept, but it only happens like if you shake him really hard. Kind of like a mix of like Psych and The Finder.
Yeah.
With a little bit of the little glow stick guy from the Minions. And like you have to pop his back too. It could be like an entire crime drama.
Yeah.
Call it shaken, not stirred. Maybe something a little bit better than that, but that's a place to start.
Yeah.
Is it fucking raining? I love it when it rains when it's hot.
I wish it would rain here. It
The
sprinkled
other day.
it sprinkled here a couple days ago, but wasn't really much of a rain.
Yeah, so Clovis usually gets a little bit harder than it
Yeah.
usually does.
Yeah. Over here it was barely enough to get the ground wet. Which is funny because yeah, because of the way my brother is, I hear about the weather, but he's like,
Yes,
oh,
and probably anything else that has to do with like space or
yeah,
anything that he thinks could potentially injure him somehow.
yeah. But he's like, oh, there's gonna be thunderstorms. Like, there hasn't been a single
Okay.
cloud in the fucking sky today, and you're panicked about a thunderstorm.
Maybe put your headphones on.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like slightly intelligent like that. I don't know. Seems like it'd make too much sense.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe that's something to suggest to him next time he comes and bitches at you about it. Just be like, put your fucking earbuds in or headphones on, whatever you got. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just say headphones for simplicity. Just do something else that's not irritating.
Yeah. Especially while I was trying to edit stuff too.
Yeah. That's fun, I bet.
Oh, so I found out it's a bad thing to strain the muscles in the back of your neck.
Yes. How did you find this out?
I might have done a couple too many head raises. You know, where you put the weight in your head and you lift it. with your head. I might have done a few too many of those. Not a lot, but I knew I could do like a couple more. I was like, I'll just do a couple more just to even it out. And so I did 20 with 20 pounds. And
Yeah.
turns out that does something. I guess because of how stiff the muscles get after the fact, or something.
Hmm.
I was like lightheaded for like the next few days. Like every time I laid down or like looked up, it felt like the room was spinning. I was like, that's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
It's gone now, thankfully, but that lasted for like 3 or 4 days. It wasn't anywhere near as bad as the first day, but it made it really easy to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because like it wouldn't last very long. Like I'd lay down, and it'd feel like the room would spin for a bit, and then it would stop. But I'd still feel kind of like out of it, and be like, okay, it's good enough. Let's just go to sleep.
Yeah, maybe like take the weight down or just do a couple less reps.
We'll just do a few less, yeah. Like I haven't done any at all this whole week because of it. I'll probably put it off for another few days just in case, but
Yes, I'd like to go lift on my fucking tendonitis ass arm. I don't have to use my arms to do squats, so I totally don't have to like get under the fucking bar and like pick it up and then squat with it.
You got one hand. You just use the one hand to hold it there and keep it steady.
I mean, yeah, that works until I have any kind of balance shift and the whole fucking thing falls off the one side.
Fair enough. You could do it with a kettlebell.
Could do it with a kettlebell, but then you end up creating asymmetry.
True.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing, which is when nobody sees what I'm doing, I just do scap push-ups. Because I can't do normal push-ups, I just do scap push-ups instead.
What's a scab push-up?
Scap. Scapula.
Oh, scab. Okay, I get it.
Basically like you do, it's basically like you do a plank position and you just push up.
Yeah, no, I get what you're talking about now. I never knew it was called that.
Yeah, it trains your back more, and like your biceps or your chest,
Yeah.
but in effect it still makes you better or keeps you going with push-ups so that when I can actually do normal push-ups again, I won't be totally fucked. Because it's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Because it's not just one tendon that's fucked up, it's like 3, including connective material around it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty well fucked. And when I say fucked, I mean fucked like a fat whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But it'll get there.
Yeah. Just takes time to heal. No, I almost pulled a muscle doing what are they called? I always forget what they're called. I think they're called Romanian deadlifts.
What's that?
Romanian deadlift?
With kettlebells?
No, with
Or what? What do you mean?
so I might be calling it the wrong thing, I don't know. I think they're called Romanian deadlifts. So it's like a deadlift, but instead of bending at your knees, you like bring your hips back and you lean down. So it's supposed to stretch like your hamstrings and stuff. It's more of like a
Yeah,
glutes
that's what I'm
thing.
talking about because we've been doing it. We've been the motherfucker. My earbud just died. Let me put the other one in. Piece of shit ass, dead ass earbud. Come on, do it. Do the sound. Make the sound. It has the sound. All right.
Cool.
So anyway, yeah, we've been doing those at this gym class thing that our unit's been doing, which is, okay if everybody actually did it right, but they're not, so.
Yeah. Well, when I first started doing them, I did it wrong. But it's because I thought it was more for your back than your glutes.
Yeah.
So I
I mean,
used,
we actually have instructors showing us how to do this, and people are still doing it wrong.
yeah,
Like, they just don't care.
yeah. No, in that case, they're just idiots. But no, for me, I was like, I think this is for your, this will like help the lower back, and I mean, I think it does. But and then I started doing it the right way, and I was like, oh, I see why people do this. Works a lot better.
Yeah. And it works the muscles in your back and legs to actually help you with other compound lifts.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm almost getting.
typically the things that get ignored when most people go to the gym
Yeah.
because they're going for
They usually go for like
appearance,
chest and arms
or they just
or abs.
yeah.
Which
And
is,
I mean, they genuinely don't know what they're doing a lot of times.
yeah. Yeah, but that's not an excuse to go learn. Or that's not an excuse to not go learn. Especially since, like, for a lot of guys, like, it's just as important for a guy to work on your legs and your glutes just as much as it is for a woman.
Yeah. One of my friends has a funny story about a run-in with someone telling him that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna retell it. I'm just gonna make the point. But yeah, no, it's true. It's funny seeing dudes walk around with like huge fucking shoulders and like chicken legs.
Yeah. Shit. Well, I mean, just like having those muscles actually at a good size, it just helps with a lot of other stuff too.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, like it just creates it creates a solid base for you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing anything else like overhead press or bend over rows or whatever it is, like you're creating basically a bipod for your whole body to fit on.
Yeah. Also, I mean, why would you focus on just like one or two parts of your body, you know? That just seems kind of dumb.
Yeah, and with that, a lot of people also ignore mobility drills too. And I
Yeah.
don't mean like military mobility drills because those suck ass, but I mean like actual like Indian clubs and like those fucking hammers and shit like that.
Yeah. Those are kind of fun,
It's
though.
time I leave. Oh. I need to go back.
What's that?
I said those are kind of fun, though.
Indian clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're like big bowling pins for your tendons.
Big balls.
It's like Lamp is here with us now.
Stop myself.
Indeed. That's more of a service to Lamp to compare the two than it is a disservice to
Oh, I figure.
our buddy.
But
You guys want hard security?
no, I need to work a bit more on like flexing my arms back a bit because I don't have a lot of mobility moving my arms back.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
yeah,
unlike
that's what I like about those hammers, like, because it helps create that range of motion
yeah.
behind you,
Well, I
in
found
the
that
shoulders
you
to the
can,
rear.
you can get a similar result with just like a sledgehammer or a maul.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to spend extra money on fucking a weighted hammer when I could just have a normal sledgehammer that I would
Yeah,
already
exactly.
likely have on my person. Like here, yeah, it makes sense because I'm not just gonna have a fucking sledgehammer sitting around my room.
I mean, why not? I do. Gotta sit right next to
That's
pellet
because
gun.
I live in a barracks. You live in a house,
I
I
guess
live
that
in a
makes
barracks.
sense. That makes sense.
I also have like
You live in a
linoleum
house.
clothes.
We are fucking.
Pretty much.
We live in a bay of other men.
That sounds lovely.
What only doesn't make it a prison is that there's no fucking date zone separated.
Well, there is a fence around the compound, so actually
And you can't
you can get out. But then you're just stuck on post because you don't have a car.
get it costs money. Oh,
Hey, something with a couple more days. That was really violently gay for just a second.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit, this sucks.
Yeah, that's why I hate those fucking
This
bags.
sucks. Yeah. I
See, those I wouldn't mind those for like a hike. Like I'm maybe carrying like a really tiny little sleep system and like some food and shit. Maybe a jet boil.
This
But like
sucks.
although Freeman prefers those, honestly, which I don't know why.
I mean, some people's backs are certain low types.
Yeah,
It's not awful, but it's not great.
I'm pretty certain it's dog shit. That's just my
Nice to see back there. I have to do laundry tonight. Finish packing.
Your shirt is in the dryer, by the way.
Don't care. You throw it in there when it's done. Throw it away. Is it still raining? Yeah, but I like it. So. Don't care if I get wet. Also,
What is with you and feet getting wet, man?
well, it's not the last time I see it, but that's the last time I see it at Fort Benning because we're gonna meet up in the middle somewhere. I'm not sure. We'll be back in like 7 months. For Ranger School. Sure. God damn it. Ranger School. But we will hang out because I'll get my car in here. Etc. Etc. You should honestly get a gaming system. You play video games?
I do. I have 2 Xboxes. I just don't have them here.
It will get them out here.
I will try and get them out here.
Okay.
Yeah, then we can record something together.
What?
I said, yeah, then we can record something together. Other than the podcast.
I'm getting PlayStation 2. Sell it one of your Xbox. Buy a PlayStation 5. That's fine.
Well, considering that I have an original 2014 Xbox One, it's probably not going to sell for enough to get a PS5.
You guys have
But if I
PS5s over
do,
there?
if I do, huh?
You guys can
I
find
have the original
PS5s?
big ass Xbox One, and I have an Xbox One X that I got for Christmas as a hand-me-down. My brother-in-law went and bought himself a Series X. But yeah, we have PS5s over here. Like you can like they have them in the PX.
Damn.
Like you can actually get a hold of one.
So that's where they're all going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to make sure that people in the military are happy because like we have access to tanks and planes and guns, and if you make us unhappy, we're just gonna like coup the entire government just so we can have a PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Just like you can only Article 15 me and Lucy and Jamie so many times before I'm just like, fuck it.
Do it. Let them do it in games so they don't do it in real life.
Exactly, exactly.
My next reporter is disarming discharge.
And most of the time they probably won't care. Like that's not as big of a deal anymore as it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, especially now with the fucking like COVID shit. That shit.
Yeah, man. Who said that you could cut the cheese? So, it's my fucking room. I don't want people shitting their pants in my room. Don't shit your pants in my house, man.
Is it raining bad?
I hear thunder. I don't think it's raining bad, but it's definitely raining like pretty decently.
Yeah, it's raining hard on it. For a little bit. Just up there because I wasted.
Okay, man. But yeah, no, we like our. So it depends on where you go. So like some of the businesses around here don't do a great job of keeping stocked up, especially some restaurants.
Yeah.
Particularly like the main like the stores and stuff. They're usually pretty good. Like supply lines are pretty decent, but it's not always the case, and it depends on the product and it depends. You know,
Yeah.
what we're gonna eat first. But it just kind of depends on what you're looking at. But electronics usually are like pretty well in stock.
It's not really too bad.
Okay. So yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe when you guys come and visit, I'll take you.
Yeah, assuming we all get the opportunity to do so. That'll certainly be a while.
Well, that's probably true, but even if it is a while, like this shit's not leaving. We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
I know Lance keeps saying that. Oh yeah, we'll be able to do it, and it's not fine. But that number one.
Well, I question whether or not Lamp has a decent understanding of the passage of time.
Yeah, he gets a little twisted on that. But it's like, you know, I congratulate him for being able to be such an optimist sometimes. But it's like he takes it a little too far.
Yeah.
That's why I always call myself an optimistic pessimist, or pessimistic optimist, because I'm an optimist at heart. But I always allow a little sprinkle of pessimism to meter my disappointment.
It's always good to have some pessimism. It helps keep you realistic.
Yeah. And from like getting murdered or genocide.
Yeah.
How much instance die?
It's funny, I'm looking out my window and I'm looking at that red tractor I got, and I'm debating
Yes.
how good of a workout it would be to actually pull that thing back and forth. Because I've wrapped a chain around my waist and pulled that before.
Yeah.
Like that was how it got there.
I mean, you could sell it for scrap and use the money to buy a tractor tire.
Yeah. Well, I can probably get one of those free actually. There's a couple sitting around at the ranch. They don't do anything else.
Probably could. I mean, we might even have one at the ranch that you could take.
I've got
Or borrow
I've
at the
got
very
an
least.
8-pound maul, so I mean I've got a hammer to hit it with. It's a tire to flip and a tire to hit it with. Or tire to hit, I mean.
Yeah.
Another thought I've had though about that tractor
See.
is fixing the engine and turning it into like a little redneck ATV kind of thing.
Go fucking Waylon Jennings and drive to the corner store with it.
It would certainly be an interesting thing to do. I don't remember what's wrong with that engine though. I just know it doesn't work.
Well, I mean, that'll do it. Not working will make an engine not work.
Yeah. I've solved the problem, guys. It's fucking broken.
It's like, so the problem with your engine, ladies, the engine don't work. Now that'll be $140 for the inspection, and another $200 for the labor. Here we go. Wrist brake no longer smells like whatever the fuck it smelled like, because it smelled bad. I wore it during the 12-mile ruck we just did, and it was not kosher.
Ah.
It was really bad. And I mean really, really, really bad. Like, you know how when you get a really bad cut and you put a Band-Aid on it and leave the Band-Aid on just a little too long and you get that like bacterial cheesy smell?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah. I
But
imagine.
like the whole brace.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I've had a wrist brace before. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's not bueno.
They certainly
He's
stink
no
after
me
a
so
while.
Superman here. Yeah, I try to wash it every week now. Because it just, like, with all the shit that I do and having to wear it as often as I do, it just. Yeah. Smells like a Swiss farmer's house. Speaking of Swiss farmer, I'm gonna go get more chips.
Is it working?
Yeah, it works now. You want something? Okay. You bear? Want some Cheetos? Some Fritos? Some spicy Doritos? I said, are you sure you don't want some Cheetos, Fritos, spicy Doritos, nothing like that? Okay.
Oddly enough, it reminds me of So earlier this week, I tried to do weighted primal squats,
Yeah.
but I did it with the weight vest on and the wrist weights I have, along with like the bar and everything.
Yeah.
So I had about an extra 120, 130 pounds on me doing primal squats. I was able to do about 5 or 6.
And then your legs are like,
Oh yeah, then my legs started hurting. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop for now, and we'll hit the bag for a bit and cool until that stops hurting. Well, because again,
yeah.
I'm a dumbass. I don't stretch when I work out.
Well, see, I think. Okay, so there's great stretching, and then at the same time, there's like. I think it's better to warm up than it is to stretch.
Yeah,
Like, I'd say, like, do like moderately paced range of movement exercises as opposed to like actually stretching. The stretching will just take like whenever you stretch, it extends like it lengthens the muscles and tendons and takes away the amount of power you're able to exert, which takes away the amount of effort you're able to put in to
yeah,
actually do the exercise better.
yeah. I technically, in a way, I do a bit of a warm up because I do like pull ups and sit. Yeah, I do like pull ups and push ups now, but I've sort of worked those in a little better. That's usually what I start with.
Yeah,
But
I'll share with you later what's called the raw warm up that you can try. Fucking Massey over his face or his head off. Yes, I'm offering somebody the raw warm up, okay? Because it actually fucking works.
Did you ever do?
You mean the one with the fucking these things and the fucking scorpions and shit? Yes. Well, because remember we got in trouble for not doing the whole thing. Because Patterson came out and NCISC says you got to do the whole thing. And it's like, well, we just want to fucking stand here. The rocks are where it's safe-ish. For a very short amount of time, the rocks are safe. I said for a very short amount of time, the rocks are safe. Until a sergeant comes out.
and then nowhere's safe.
And then, yeah, exactly. Like the level of safety varies. Like you could be okay, depending on the answers the sergeant gets. And at the same time, you could be very, very fucked. Depending on the answers the sergeant gets. Or how PT went that morning. Like if it happens to get rained out and then we end up doing squats and sit-ups and burpees on the fucking rocks for 2.5 hours.
Study session?
Yes. God damn that fucking dude. I still can't stand that motherfucker. It's John Singleton Mosby. Like, how do you get that wrong 3 times in a fucking row? With other people giving you the answer. God, I hate being there. I would have rather just passed the first time. Or actually even made it the first time.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of you, my child.
You'll be there soon. You just
Yeah, a detour through like the fucking like roads in the outskirts of fucking Pasadena, where it's all just like potholes and like single lane roads on fucking mountainsides, like where Kevin Hart crashed his fucking Dodge Charger or whatever the fuck it was. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in Angeles National Park on fucking single lane mountain pothole roads. But I do at least have this, which is kind of cool. It'd be cooler if it didn't just say that, but it's still pretty cool. No, it's my company sweatshirt or sweater.
Ooh. You guys get a
Pretty cool.
sweater.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have a sweater. It's got my name sewn on it. It's got our company insignia on it, or our battalion insignia on it, or brigade insignia. I can't remember which one. It's one of those things. It's either brigade, battalion, or company. I think it's brigade. Because that's the one that's up line. I could be wrong. It's got the rigger wings on the back. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like a consolatory prize with, like, hey, you can make it through ass, but here's a sweatshirt.
Here's your participation
See,
award.
here, but like, it's a fucking participation award. Ever so slightly disappointing one. It's not the worst, honestly. Like the company's even improved slightly since I got here, but it's still pretty shitty. Like it's known for being shitty.
Yeah.
But that's okay, I guess. It's temporary. Temporary. I have a pretty nice, you know. Like there's things I can say I'm lucky for having here. I could have gotten a shittier room. I could have gotten a room with a roommate. Would have had to have a jack shack instead of just being able to beat one off in my bed whenever I want to. Have to share a shower with somebody. I don't have to do any of that shit, which is really lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky in some ways. Lucky in a lot of ways, but still, even kind of sucks. Not really happy with it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop bitching about it. For now.
For now.
For now.
And then tomorrow came.
Yeah. As soon as tomorrow comes, I'll be bitching about it again.
How it always goes.
Now,
though,
there's
huh?
things like there's experiential things that I like about it, but at the same time, again, it's just like, and it's not even as bad as American was, like work environment wise.
Yeah.
In reality, there's little things like I said that I can complain about, which I don't really like complaining about per se, but I could complain about them feasibly. But American was a much worse work environment.
Oh yeah.
Like I get a lot more days off here. I get a lot more leeway. I mean, there's a lot more like medical stuff that I can take care of myself with.
Well, yeah, because they
shit like
actually
that.
have to take care of you
To some degree.
to some degree. Yeah.
Of course, they'll still try to fuck you over.
Oh yeah. But they're less likely to, for the most part, and
Only because your command can step in and help you out.
yeah.
You're
They're also a lot more. Ooh. Robot.
transgenders. What?
Retards in disguise.
Transgenders, pedos in disguise. But yeah, no, there's a certain degree of like it depends on your leadership. like if they'll go to bat for you or not.
Yeah.
Usually they do. It's not like you're not getting care.
What was that? You cut out.
Great. Have as many of like the TRICARE stories that people have in other units. And that's part of the doc, so we kind of have to be taken care of. Like we make sure we make airborne school function. So
Ah.
if we're not there, if we're not healthy, like you're talking about risk of total mission failure, which is not a thing that is acceptable. So
Yeah, I'd imagine not.
so no, because I mean, like I said, there's things I can bitch about, but it's definitely not the worst.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people here that do like to bitch about it quite a bit, but in reality, it's like it's mostly because it's either their first duty station and they're young, like they haven't worked a really shitty, like not a shitty labor job, because American was like good. It was good work. It was good pay, but it's just the way the company was structured, the way that the management worked was just really shit.
Yeah.
It was absolute garbage. So it's like there's not that level of experience, and some people do, and those people you generally see they like they don't necessarily like what they do here, but they definitely don't bitch or bitch as much.
Yeah. It's the healthy kind of bitching.
Did you say the healthy cabbage?
I said the healthy kind of bitching.
Oh yeah. Okay. I just heard healthy cabbage, and I was like, what? I was like, we can't do marijuana here.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it sounds better than dealing with the fucking ranch.
Oh no, 100%. Like your bosses are absolute shit.
Of course, now that the most of the goats are gone, it takes like 15 minutes to feed now. So now I get to cut weeds again, which is fun.
Fun. They don't have you like pulling any of the cactuses or well, cacti, I should say, I guess, to be linguistically correct.
Not yet. They're a little more concerned about rattlesnakes again because they had a couple already.
So buy like a
small
pistol
ones.
and get like fucking birdshot and shoot those motherfuckers. Like, I don't understand why they can't just.
Oh well, you see, the doctor likes snakes. So.
Of course he does.
Yeah. She didn't even want him to see me dispose of the one. They trapped one under a bucket, her and the maid, because the dogs were going ballistic over it. And they're like, if it's still alive under there, could you just, like, kill it with the shovel? I was like, okay. And I got it done. I'll leave the gritty details off of YouTube, but it certainly wasn't clean.
Yeah. Honestly, because depends on the machete. I like what do you call it? The Gerber Gator.
Oh yeah, no, I just used like a dull shovel.
Oh no, I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I like the longer brush machetes.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. But no, I guess she didn't want him to like see the dead snake. It didn't want him to see the blood on the patio. So I was like, okay, killed it, threw it in the trash to get hauled off the next day, and sat there and rinsed off where it was.
Well, so you kill him quickly enough. Like, get the head off, like get the head separate. You can, have yourself a nice little rattlesnake meal.
Nah, this one was pretty young. Wasn't even a full foot.
Oh.
There was actually no. Looking at my foot, it was probably just over a foot. It was barely growing a rattle. I almost thought it was a gopher snake at first. but then I heard it.
Oh, that's
Itty bitty
pretty
little rattling.
small, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's a rattler. That's a young one. That'll kill me.
Yeah, like the one that bit me didn't even have a rattle yet.
Yeah. But
So
then,
yeah, no,
then
that definitely wouldn't have been.
they didn't see it, but they think the dogs were barking at another one in the fruit trees. So, because they went ballistic for a couple seconds. That's something over there. They've had more of a problem with skunks this year than anything, though.
Oh fuck skunks,
Yeah.
dude. Just
There's been like
with
5
that,
on the property
okay, so
in the past month.
suggestion is get a shotgun,
Well, one of the dogs
like
actually
just a
killed
little
one.
pump, like a little pump, like the wrapper, little pump, 12 gauge, you know. Have a mix of like just keep some birdshot and keep some slugs. If you got a snake, use birdshot. If you got skunks, just hit him with the slugs. Just blow that motherfucker straight to hell. Just absolutely explode his ass all over the place. I fucking hate skunks. I hate skunks more than almost any other animal.
Yeah.
Well, of the animals that I dislike,
No, I had to throw one out.
which is not many. It really isn't many. I don't dislike that many animals, but
Yeah.
skunks are on the top of my list.
And I had to throw one out because one of the dogs managed to actually kill it. I guess it was trying to
Yeah.
make a little nest inside, you know those bushes that are there, like, on the corner, on the driveway?
Mhm.
It was trying to make a little nest in there, and one of the dogs pulled it out and killed it. Didn't eat it, but she killed it. She got sprayed, though. She's the one that
Yeah.
it's the one she always gets sprayed. Like she goes chasing the damn things and gets sprayed left and right.
She probably likes the smell, to be honest.
Yeah. But it's funny.
But-
Oddly enough, it smelled worse dead than it did alive. Like you know how they smell when they spray at something.
Well, yeah, because
But
okay, so
I
when
guess
they
when
die,
they
you
die,
know what
they
happens to their
I'm guessing they
their-
let it
you know
all
what
out.
happens to their scent gland, right?
What happens?
You know what happens like their scent when their scent gland starts to decompose. Like it's like one of the first things, like with all, like you know how all animals like certain parts always
Yeah.
decompose first, usually like the soft internal organs that start to decompose,
Yeah.
like they rot from the inside. So you have that combined with the fact that when they die, they just like shoot all this fucking oil out, and it's super concentrated because it's not just like a little spray. It's like all the fucking oil in that gland just comes
Yeah.
into their bodies. It is disgusting. It is the most vile thing on the planet.
Oh yeah, yeah. It took like it didn't even rot for very long. Like, I guess she got it overnight, but it actually no, she got it like earlier in the morning. I found it that afternoon, but
Yeah, it only
had-
takes a couple hours before
yeah,
it starts.
it had been there long enough that it took like a good 2 weeks for that smell to go away. You could
hate it
smell
so
it every
much.
time you went past those fucking bushes, because she killed it right next to those bushes.
Yeah, you just gotta like wait until they turn around to spray and just fucking hit them with the slug, and then pretend that you missed one and say that and hit Butters instead. Kill him and then just be like, "Oh, I missed. There was a skunk back there."
Yeah.
I still can't believe that whole fucking thing with the dog and Butters.
Yeah. I was surprised they kept as many goats as they did.
Stupid.
It was funny. They kept
How many are they keeping?
They kept a total of 16 out of the pens. They kept the what's left of the males out in the pasture. So all that's left are the males in the
Mhm.
pasture and like 17 other goats.
Mhm.
So they're down to like a total of like.
Also, what are they doing with the llamas anyway? They're just gonna fucking keep them back there
I guess they're
and
just
let
gonna
them be
keep.
fucking terrorists?
Yeah, I guess they're just gonna let them stay back there for now. I don't know, cause was planning on moving them. I'm pretty sure I told you. He wanted to move them into like that middle pasture, cause in the right pasture, he's gonna have a guy come out and plant. I don't know why. I don't know where he thinks he's gonna get the water, but I guess he's already got it. It's already been marked and everything. They're just waiting to get it done.
They don't have an agriculture. They don't have an ag well.
Exactly. Well, there's no water on the property, hardly at all, other than the well for the house.
What?
Yeah, they spent $100,000 to have a company come out and check the whole property, and they could not find any other source of water other than that one well that the house runs off of. So I mean,
That's stupid.
it's certainly a shitty property that they bought.
You just need to get the fuck out of there, man.
Yeah. But
Because they're gonna keep asking you to do more and more shit for less and less pay.
oh well, they're not. I'm
Eventually,
not
they're not gonna be able to
accept
pay.
this
And eventually, they're not gonna be able to pay. They're eventually just not gonna be able to pay you anymore. Because what they're doing is basically they're getting rid of these animals to make it so they can afford shit again, just so they can put in crops that they're gonna have to pay for to be put in.
Yeah. Well, I
They're not
guess
gonna be able to sell.
I guess the full scenario as
They're
to
not
what's
gonna fucking
happening
grow.
is the doctor is going on disability for his back. He'll be on disability for 3 months, and he's already started, so this is the start of the second month. And either way, I guess they're going to need me for next month because they're going to be gone all month. Because I guess he's going to go out of country to get his back fixed. And they're both going. So I'm going to end up being like keeping an eye on the place. Because I mean, even the maid is eventually gonna have to be replaced because the maid physically just can't do much anymore. She's already had a second heart attack, so.
You know what you should do?
Hmm.
You should kill Butters and let Esteban eat him.
Yeah. Well, on the plus side, if the maid can't do a lot of house sitting, they'll ask me to do the house sitting, and they'll pay $100 a day for that.
I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world, but still, just
But
try and get out of there whenever you can. Cause
oh yeah,
they are shitty.
yeah.
Oh, so shitty. And this seems to be getting worse and worse all the fucking time.
Yep. That's what happens when you don't know what you're doing, but you act like you do.
Isn't that the truth? Those look comfy.
Yeah, I guess I may try for Sinclair, and I'll probably swing by Miller's again and see if they're willing to hire, because I know they still have my resume. That would be a few more hours, but I could always adjust.
Right.
You gotta take a step back sometimes to move forward, you know, and all that shit.
Don't I know? Don't I fucking know? That's been my whole fucking time here.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, and again, like, even if it's more hours than you necessarily want to put in, it's gonna go towards helping you afford to put more into what you're trying to do with YouTube.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a drawback in that regard, but at the same time,
It's
pushing you forward a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a gain in the long run, not the short run. That's what's more important to some degree.
Ooh. Those multicam black HRT plate carriers, man. They're sexy as fuck. I'm definitely not getting one anytime soon, but I already have one on Ranger Green. I'm trying to get one of their new ones, their new models in multicam. But yeah, so like I said, I know definitely like it sucks taking more hours, but it does work. It does work out in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, if I can get the mechanic stuff,
a new skill too, or advancement of a current skill.
Yeah, advancement of a skill I'm interested in advancing because it's more of like a hobby thing for me.
Mhm.
But plus, I mean, shit. It looks
I
like
mean, it's helpful in a lot of other ways too.
yeah. Plus, I mean, shit. It looks like they pay pretty good too. Some of the guys that work there have
Well, that's
like
really what you need.
yeah, like some of their guys there were able to buy like fucking Porsches within a couple of years. So I mean,
I mean, that's not really your style, but yeah, I think that's a good example of what they're able to achieve.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't mind the
Carrera.
yeah. That's what I was thinking of. I don't mind the Carrera.
Yeah, no,
But,
I do agree. I like what is it? I think it's like the 78944.
yeah.
Like I definitely don't mind some Porsche either, but those are like on the cheaper spectrum, I guess you could say, of course.
Yeah, probably. Well, especially
But
since
even still,
I'm sure there's more people that look at like BMW or Mercedes or Audi. Which is funny, Audi is just
yeah.
fucking Volkswagen.
Well, so is BMW.
True.
Like they're all owned by the same company.
Yeah.
So is Fiat and Chrysler. They're all owned by the same company,
Yeah.
which is just BMW or just Volkswagen.
I thought Fiat and Chrysler were Dodge.
Chrysler owns Dodge. Okay, so Chrysler owned Jeep, Dodge, and the Ram branding
Ah,
got bought by Fiat, and Fiat is owned by Volkswagen.
I see.
So they're basically all one company.
Yeah.
So when it comes to those, really, like you just want to look for price, like whichever one is the cheapest out of all those options, and, like still provides like good quality, like decent quality,
Yeah.
because they're basically all the same, or they're the same in a lot of ways. They're not exactly all the same, because they still do offer their own products, right? But it's
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes should be the same manufacturing quality. But yeah, I'm kind of looking at a Dodge Dart. I think maybe like a new one. Kind of my thought process right now, because they're fairly reliable and they're still kind of like cheap, I guess.
Yeah.
Like on the cheaper end of the spectrum of new-ish cars. So that's kind of the thought process. I don't know, man. We shall see.
Yeah. Then it'll just be a
I
matter
still
of
haven't
getting
got
the
my
other two
bonus
going.
quite yet. What was that?
I said then it'll just be a matter of seeing if we can get the other two going and something.
Yeah.
I know Lamp wants to do like a rabbit farm.
A rabbit farm?
Yeah, a rabbit farm. I don't know where
What
he
is he
thinks he's.
fucking
I don't know where he thinks he's gonna set it
Lenny
up,
from
but.
Mice and Men?
I hadn't even thought of that one. Good thing he's.
Fucking, I want to pet the rabbits, George.
Yeah, it's a good thing he ain't got the strength to go along with that, but
Yeah, he'd probably be hurting himself left and right.
yeah, my fucker couldn't even pick up a rock. Did he ever tell you about
I
that
don't know,
one?
I wouldn't give him that little credit. No.
No, so just because I was fucking around with him, he's got like these like small boulders in front of his house, and I picked one up. It's like it's not that bad. It's 100 somewhat pounds. He hurt his wrist trying to pick it up. He couldn't even pick it up more than an inch. I was able to pick the damn thing up to my
Wait,
waist.
how much did you say it weighed?
It was about 120, 130, maybe 150. It wasn't super heavy. It's
So
about
I
as
feel like basically a Bentley.
Bentleys weigh that little?
What's that?
Wait, Basically a what?
A bale of hay.
A bale
Bale
of
of
hay.
alfalfa.
Yeah. Yeah, they're about, yeah. Might have been a little higher than that. Might have been closer to 2. I'm bad at judging that, but it was certainly heavy enough that I could only pick it up to like my waist. But no, Lamp was like, let me try, and then he fucking hurt his wrist, and it's been like hurt since. He like pulled something in his wrist trying to lift it.
Oh, the fuck. Like, I get he doesn't work out, but that's pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely try and get him on that weightlifting diet.
Yeah. I think he'll enjoy it too.
Probably not at first.
Oh yeah. No, it sucks at first, but once
Which
you
is
get
why you
used to
definitely
it.
gotta keep him. Like, you definitely gotta keep him going. Like, constantly kind of
Oh yeah.
goading him on, trying to get him to go.
Probably have to
'Cause
talk
eventually,
probably talk to his wife, have her help. That way
yeah.
he's getting talked into it on both ends. Be good for him.
Yeah, it would be good for him. Especially since all the shit that he likes to talk.
Don't know what we'll do about Sombrero, though.
I don't know, man. Like,
That guy
he just doesn't.
he doesn't want to do anything. He's given up. In a way.
Yeah, in a way.
You can kind of see it, too. Like, he just doesn't care anymore.
Maybe once things start to turn around for him, maybe he'll care a little bit more.
Nah. I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna keep going downhill.
I don't know about that. I think he just needs, a little looking after.
Yeah.
That's a nice rifle. But yeah, maybe just a little pickup, a little extra hand.
Yeah. I mean, all
You know
four
what
of
I'm
us,
saying?
all 4 of us have been there at this point. So
What are you yelling about?
Yes.
What? I asked what?
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting where you're coming from now. Yeah, we is. Anyway. Yeah.
anywho, I'll probably call it here because I gotta go do a few other things.
Anywho.
So.
Who? Annie? I don't know any Annie. Yeah, I think
It's been about 2.5 hours, just under. So.
yeah, I think there's some editable material in there. Probably just like edit up the dead space.
Yeah, that's what I did with the last one. Is I just cut out the long pauses and cut out some of the background noise.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Everything we said is still in there.
I figured. Obviously, it's not up quite yet, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and get that going right now before I do a couple other things. So I'll have to go back to the ranch in a little bit.
All right, man.
Talk to you later then.
Talk to you later.